Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Final Fantasy XIV. This may be a short video, this may be a decent length video, who knows? This might get thrown at the end of the previous world quest video. Find out. But we are here in the Crystarium. We got one last quest to officially tie up the world quests. Now that we have all of the quests completed, we can do one final wrap up. So let's see what this is about. Wow, if isn't the great hunter herself. What's going on? As if you don't know, all the four of the cardinal virtues laid low, all with your help. You're the talk of the stairs, Cecilla. When the night returned to Lakeland, we knew in our hearts that change was on the horizon. But never did I dare hope that you might get rid of us of those terrible fiends. You surpassed my wildest expectations. I don't deserve all the praise. Not mine, Glynard. When I first laid on her, as I had an inkling that she was a hero we've been waiting to come along. Huh, easy to claim after the fact. If you'd indulge me, though, I would love to hear you tell how it all played out. Hunting the virtues, that is. All right. It's a long story. I'll have you know. My word, there's so much more to it than I realized. And there I thought he'd only tracked down the bloody things. Gods, though, the things you learn about the Warriors of Light. So many secrets and details lost over time. And for all their hard work and sacrifice, they somehow brought about the flood. Can't say I understand it all, but it's a bloody tragedy, it is. We should gather the others and toast their memories. Heroes of El, the brave and true, to be remembered forevermore. Now, I'll thank you not to let your bleeding heart drive you to offer up a fortnight's stock of spirits. Attend to your other customers and let me speak with the hero of here now. Huh. Whatever would I do without your good sense and wisdom? Very well, I'll leave you to entertain her. But don't think we'd be having that drink someday. What's up? Cecil, I must thank you for sharing with us such reliable tales. 'Tis only right that I repay you in kind. What's going on? With the ending that is, the story of the true villain who towers above the virtues, the devil more deserving of death than any that yet lingers in this world. If your curiosity has been piqued, then meet me at the top of the balcony overlooking the crystalline mean. I'll be waiting there until you do. What's this supposed to mean? The true villain? Alright. Let's see what this is about. So, by the way, all those red circles are all crafters and gatherers. So, yeah. That's something I'll also do later on, but not now. I'm not prepared to take those quests on yet. Okay, where do I go up? That's not my sprint button. That's my twirl my staff around the air button. Alright, Cybella, what's going on? Or Cyella? You came as I knew you would. Never met a mystery you could leave well enough alone. Or a demon that you could yet live, am I right? And this demon is undeniably deserving of death. Make no mistake. To cut them down would be just and proper. To act a goodly person, and that is just as what you are, I can see that. No need to grow impatient or be offended, my friend. Before you pass judgment on this villain, you need first understand their part and everything. Who they were to the fallen warriors of light, for instance. Of course, right about now, you must be wondering how I know what I know. What a tavern wench of all people has got to do with any of this. Let me tell you then, I am the one who brought together the Virtue Hunters. I am the one who marked you as a potential ally to them and bade you join them in their quests. I alone knew what had to be done, and what sort of sinner would be needed to see this tale of tragedy and betrayal brought to an end. But come, we have many moms ahead of us still. To Kolisha and the Codger's Crook, I will go on ahead and wait for you there. What's going on with you? I don't like where this is going. Where am I going? Okay, I guess I'll go to Still Tide and fly there. Whoops. So it looks like this is gonna be a whole thing, so this might be similar to what the whole Voth, Vanu, and Moogles thing video that went up that went up a little bit ago. Alright, what are we doing out here? You're accustomed to life on the road, I see, as am I. Do you recognize this place? I thought you might. Here's where it began, where Arbor first met Lamy. Still young and lacking in experience, but possessed of so much potential. Heroes in the making. Even then, the keen-eyed could see. They would only fulfill that promise much later, though, after joining with their other dear companions, Brandon and Renda Ray. And one other, an elven woman, not bad with the sword. But perhaps you're already asking the question. Who? There were 5 warriors of light in all, but she would make 6. Indeed, after adding in Nalbert, there does seem to be one too many. But believe me when I say there was indeed a 6th adventurer lost to history, and her name was Silva. What happened with her? Though it died, I need to convince you of this truth. When you walked in the Virtue's memories, you saw her time and time again, did you not? Yes. Then you saw the true villain, the traitor responsible for all their woes. Let's continue the story elsewhere, to Amarang and the Fields of Amber. Where am I being led to on this? Alright. I mean, I knew there was something off about the elven woman. She seemed suspicious during Nilebert's stuff. You saw the true villain's face in their memories, and I told you her name in Kolisha. But what were her crimes, you ask? Hearken to my tale and you'll learn. Silvo had joined the others before they first met Nilebert. After their party of 5 came to this place, they took on a commission to slay a powerful beast that had taken up residence in the mines. Okay. I remember this. Said beast was believed to be the instigator of ever more terrible tremors, and so time was of the essence. But during their hurried search, they crossed paths with their future companion, and then a competitor aiming to usurp their prize. After another tremor triggered by the beast trapped them all underground, they had no choice but to work together and to lay it low. But to their dismay, even after its death, the earth continued to shudder violently. As the adventurers looked to each other in confusion, Albert strode towards the beast's body and grabbed hold of a curious stone. A stone brimming with untold ether that he had sought out that he might harness its potential to rescue a loved one lost to the rift. Right. But so powerful was the stone that it warped the flow of the life stream. Its very existence was a threat. Someone faced with the choice between one life and countless others, Albert wept and shattered the stone. He had held his comrade's salvation in his hand and cast it aside for the greater good. For his sacrifice, he was judged a hero, and in that instance, a warrior of light was born. In life, Albert was a pragmatic figure whose wisdom and sagacity, I probably botched that word, were admired by all. Sagacity? I don't know. Little wonder that in death he would retain his virtue. So where are you going with this? But as Albert mourned the friend he forever lost, the betrayer Silva looked on in silent contentment, for they had taken the first step on their path toward becoming heroes brave and true. His sacrifice had sparked the transformation. 'Twas fuel for the ritual to come. What ritual, you may wonder? Fear not, all will become clear in time. Come with me to Raktika, to the Satia swamps. We must retrace the steps as they were taken to understand the depth of our treachery. How'd she know all this? Guess we'll find out as we keep going along. I need to go out of here. This place is too familiar to you, yes? From days recent and long since past. After the events in Amarang, Arbor and his comrades grew in fame, spurring others to entreat their aid. The adventurers sought out greater and greater challenges in pursuit of another. They came to Raktika. While here, the hunter Renda Ray learned that the notorious mark Balam Quits was near, and so, under cover of darkness, she slipped away from the others to slay the beast by herself. Like Albert before her course, you already know what her motive was. Balam Quits had robbed her of her fellow hunters. Only vengeance would redress the balance. Moreover, she would not dare risk the lives of her new comrades, so terrified was she of the mere possibility that they might have to relive that terrible day. And so she faced Balam Quits alone, and would have surely died for it, had Arbor and the others not arrived in time to help. Like Albert before, of course, you already know what happened next. For her love, her conviction, and her resolve was she chosen by Heidelin. And from that day forward, Renda Ray swore never again to betray her comrades' trust, to share with them the triumphs, the tragedies, to relinquish the freedom she had once held in the highest. Right? The bravest, most courageous hunter that ever was. That moment would define what she became in life, and in death. Her sacrifice would hasten the transformation, plus fuel for the ritual to come. The betrayer Silva looked on, yet more satisfied. They were oblivious to her machinations, unaware that they were dancing to her tune. Their journeys continued into so must ours, to Ilmeg and Lygia. Oh boy. This last is leading me on to something here. Why can't you just come out and say it? Alright, what next? As beautiful now as it was then. You saw it too. Would you not agree? With the death of Balam Quits, the legend of Arbor and his comrades had grown larger than ever. Thus emboldened, they came to the kingdom of Volbert. Volbert had long been controlled by what some had dubbed a magical plague. Innocents been found transformed into misshapen fiends that the kingdom's knights had no choice but to put down ere the contagion spread. Brandon had been one such knight. In his youth, he had served the Princess Saldia faithfully, only to be cast out for a single mistake. Thus did he take to the road where he met Arbor and the others. Having grown stronger and wiser and more respected, Brandon felt it was time to return and redeem himself, and with the aid of his comrades, he did just that. Toderick, the court mage, was unmasked as the mastermind of Vobert's misery, and by disgraced knight's blade was he brought to justice. But with his dying breath, Toderick cursed the Princess Saldia, sentencing her to a fate worse than death. At her behest did he raise his blade, for the sake of the kingdom, to strike down his liege lady. With that single stroke he forever changed, though nearly not in the way that was necessary. He stood at the precipice and almost forsook his compassion for unflinching judgment, and mercifully turned aside at the last. Thus did he find and embrace true justice, that which weighs law and heart together and strives for the greater good. 'Tis a long, difficult road from which many stray, selling from simple moralities, but I would expect no less of the man who became Dekai. His sacrifice would strengthen transformation. 'Twas fuel for the ritual to come. As her companions grew ever more powerful, so too did the betrayer Silva. Bit by bit, they brought her closer to her goal. But yet it was not yet finished. To Kalisha they return, and so must we. Tamra and the next chapter of our tale await. Tamra. It's funny, I kind of did all this backwards. Huh. So he started with Lamy stuff. The next one was Nilebert. Then it was Renda Ray. And now it was Brandon. So I kind of did the order backwards. Slowly but surely, the adventurers were fulfilling their potential. Word of their deeds in Volbert spread like wildfire, and their legend grew ever larger. But for all their success, the fledgling heroes would be forced to endure more hardship and welcome more sacrifice. They pressed deeper into the ruined depths of Raktika, towards ancient Ronka. 'Twas there that the dwarf Lamy came to a crossroads, for in claiming the magic she desperately desired, oops, it's not what I want to do. She would be forced to renounce something equally precious. Dwarves are a reclusive lot, wont to withdraw from the world outside that many traditions might be preserved in isolation. When the stone blight began to spread, they chose to lock away the afflicted and refused to seek outside help. But Lamy would not abide this. She vowed to save her ailing kin, her sister among them, even if it meant violating dwarven law. With her newfound power, she returned and cured the sick, and for this she was banished by the Council of Elders. This came as no surprise, for she had made her peace with it long before. When she stood in that ancient ruin and called upon forgotten guardians to grant her forbidden knowledge, she knew what the price would be. She weighed her traditions and identity against the lives of those she loved, and made her choice. though it pained her terribly in ways only a dwarf could understand, and Hydaelyn, it would seem. Through hardship and sacrifice, was a new warrior of Light forged, a healer that knew more than any value of life, and would do anything to see preserved, even in death. Her sacrifice would nearly complete the transformation. 'Twas fuel for the ritual to come very soon, then very soon. For Ardbur and his companions but had stumbled upon evidence of the larger design, threads linking together disparate troubles of the realm. A name spoken only in whispers. The Shadowkeeper, a singular force sowing chaos and discord throughout Norvron to an unknown end. If the Warriors of Light truly wished to save the world, then they would need to confront. And then at the end of their exhausted surge, at the end of their struggle, who do you think they found waiting to welcome them with open arms? Silva. The answer awaits us in Lakeland, our final destination. The villain yet walks among us, Cecilla, unknown and unpunished. Go on ahead and wait for me at Loxenfloft. There are preparations to which I must first attend. Well, this seems rightfully suspicious. Where am I going? I'm going up there. All right. Would you look at that? Damn you, Silva! We were comrades in arms, friends. that we were, and that we are. Everything I said, everything I felt, it was all true. You mean the world to me. You're the bloody Shadowkeeper. What the hell was this for? For you. For every one of you. To forge you into heroes worthy of her blessing, that she might choose you as her champions. A ruthless mage consumed by the pursuit of power to save his friend no matter the cost, by sacrificing a warrior born. By his sacrifice, a warrior born. A mournful hunter scarred by tragedy, resolved never again to trust in others. By her sacrifice, a warrior born. A disgraced knight who yearned to steal his heart and justice his name. By his sacrifice, a warrior born. A troubled healer torn between tradition and love. By her sacrifice, a warrior born. And a leader, and an adventurer with a heart overflowing with love for his dearest comrades, who must now bring his axe to bear against his own. By his sacrifice, a warrior born. I am the villain you seek. the keeper of shadows from a world shrouded in dark. By our struggle, this world be shattered and souls saved. Silva? Oh, he's pissed. Oh, don't I get to see the fight? Come on. Saw, did you? I thought you might. Mother's gift has a knack of showing us exactly what we need to see, if not what we want to, or when. They knew me as Silva, but my real name, it doesn't matter. Like you, I am not of this world. I crossed the rift and came to the first. My home, the 13th, fell to the dark, and a calamity that mirrored the one which newly claimed this world. I was one of those several heroes who failed to save it. Oh. The boy. Oh, it's that guy from the triple triad, not the triple triad, the Warren triad stuff. The boy. I can't remember what I called him. The boy. I'm just gonna call you Unu. The boy Unu. I've glimpsed him in your memories. He was a friend. Like him, I heeded the words of the Asians, and that I might redress the balance, I chose to come here and hasten to rejoin your world. A shard subsumed by dark demands a mirror of blinding light. Primordial forces will strive to achieve equilibrium, but there was a solution. A single solution, I believed. Were a flood of light to consume this shard in its entirety, it would be of no use. The Asians made it clear that it must be brought to the brink, but no further. The task was difficult, but the plan simple. Souls predisposed to light, fledgling heroes in the making. I would bring together Arbor and his comrades and groom them for a higher purpose. I would play the part of comrade and guide their course, all the while laboring in secret to pit stronger and stronger enemies against them, until finally, once they were warriors of light, brave and true, I would reveal myself as a warrior of darkness and extinguish the radiance forever. Thus would this world be primed for rejoining, and the source for a calamity. The Asians, who called themselves Mitron and Logrif, were confident it would succeed. And indeed, Arbor and the others rose to the occasion as I knew they would. Logrif, not Logrif. It was not meant to be. I had misjudged Ardbert. His comrades before him made their sacrifices in turn, and as their mirror, I had grown stronger for it. Had he but embraced his role and struck me down, victory would have been mine. But Ardbert, dear Ardbert, would not forsake his heart. In the end, he chose mercy. He chose love, and I was undone. The rest you know. He sought out Mitron and Logrif and granted them what he refused me. They accomplished everything they set out to achieve, and then the flood came and washed it all away. In the wake of my betrayal, I would look on from the shadows and reflect on my many sins as all fell to ruin. Denied death then and now, perhaps ever after, as a fragment of my essence endures. But then, one day years ago, my fallen comrades rose again as the cardinal virtues. It conceded with the arrival of the first scions, I later realized. A defense against the forces were being marshaled to undo my failure. I can but assume the Asians planted the idea of Vothri's in Vothri's head. They were his creations after all, and with their graves in the Yulmorian territory, it was doubtless a simple matter to have their bodies exhumed and prepared. Whom am I to speak? You may think when I say this, but when I saw these abominations he had wrought in their image, I was filled with such despair, such anger. I cannot unwrite the past. My soul is stained with the blackest sin, and I will not pretend that it can ever be otherwise. But this I could not ignore. If the Asians were going to such lengths, then surely others would cross the rift in due time, and so I hatched a plan. I would assume the guise of Scylla, and as her, take up residence in Crystarium, where I would take measures to bring together the most ambitious of adventurers. Individuals driven by more than mere coin, virtue hunters. That way, when the enemy, the Ascian, feared more than any came to the first, the stage would be set. They would join in the hunter's quest, and together unmake Vathri's simulacra and lay their souls to rest once more. And so you did, Cecilla. The virtues are no more, but the one ultimately responsible for their creation, the devil who set them on their doomed path, lingers still. You know all there is to know of the heroes who saved this world. The truth I kept hidden in the shallows is yours, and there is no more secrets to share. And so I ask you now to grant me that which Arbor could not. Death. You still have duty to others. You can't die now. No, don't do this! Don't you spare me like he did. How can you stand there and say I deserve to live, knowing everything I did, the lives I destroyed, the chaos I wrought? The warden is pale in comparison. Surely there's no greater villain than the Shadowkeeper. Which is why you must live to atone for your deeds. A death is just a coward's way out. I should have expected a hero would say something like that. How does one seek atonement? 'Tis an undiscovered country with no charts or stars to guide. How will I even know when I find it? Perhaps I may yet find purpose in preserving my comrade's legacy, and helping others to withstand the sacrifices that made them true heroes. For now, I shall return to the Crystarium and continue to assist Glynard, while spreading the forgotten tales of the Warriors of Light. You would have been good friends, you Nardbird, in another life. Maybe you and I as well. Man, I'm already good friends with Arbert. He merged his soul with mine. All right. I tell you, I'm not accustomed to wearing armor any longer. Simply moving about it enough is to tax my strength, and fighting. Any one of Captain Lionel's recruits would probably put me to flat on my back. Fortunately, I needn't rely on my sword to spread the truth of my fallen comrades' deeds. Only words and the passage of time will see the legacy redeemed in the eyes of the people. Thank you for accompanying me on my journey of remembrance, Cecilla. May your deeds ever be remembered and celebrated as all heroes deserve. That's not all. It doesn't sense the loitering about the stairs just like any old day. The hero's word that you'd gone back to your world for good, and I was too late. Oh, this must, okay, I think this is the wrap-up quest. The one we just did was for being all the virtues, and this is I think this is like the wrap-up. It's just that I've been thinking about the crystals belonging to the Warriors of Light. I hear they ended up with you after you defeated the virtues. I assume you have Arborts as well. Nope. Indeed, that does seem appropriate. His bond with Seto is deep and enduring. As for the others, I'd hoped you might be persuaded to leave them in my care. It was only the right that they, like Arbor, should accompany you on your journey to set this world back to its proper course. Yet, you now have a home you must return to, while the first is theirs. After all they did to keep it safe, they deserve to be here to see what its future holds. Yeah, you got a good point there. Oh, don't make that face. I know it's a big decision, but it needed to fall entirely to you. There are others here who care for the Warriors of Light as much as you do, aren't there? That's true. That is certainly true. Gyo! Oh. He's drinking. I can't remember if Gyo was a male or female. I can't remember. Now that's some damn fine ale. How many should I order for you? I know you're not much of a drinker, so 6, 7? Well, thanks for the welcome. What? You want to help decide the fate of Lami's crystal? And the others too? Does this place have any bigger tankards? Well, if you insist, New Rector owes me drinks. Plural. So I'll make sure he joins us. Maybe find grandson while I'm at it. You go on away with Sarek and Tainar and order around while I'm out. You hear? Alright. Hey guy, it's been a good while. Good to see you, Cecila. What did you say that has Gyo so worked up? Crystals, eh? That does sound like a conversation worth getting everyone together for. Did Lou Rec really promise to pay for Gyo's drinks? That's a disaster in the making. Not just hers, Brown's to a lot of us. Might be the lad yet has a few things to learn about coin and the scarcity thereof. Still, I'm not turned down his generosity. Go and tell the barkeep we'll be needing food and ale for the table. Fine, but please try to exercise some restraint. I'll not carry you back to the room again. Huh. Here we are. How much of a head start did you get? Should I ask him to bring out the cask? I reckon we should hear Cecil out first. So, you're telling me that the barmaid was one of Nalbert's companions, not to mention the Shadowkeeper, and from a different world? That's laying it on a bit thick. It certainly raises questions. It's quite. Such as how she retains her youthful visage. Not that. I had my suspicions about her. The other night when I was at the counter, quaffing my ale or having a grand time, and actually realized I'm outside without a guild to my name. And it ain't the first time. Gonna be the power of the Shadowkeeper. No, not quite. And not that you drink enough to fill a small army. Huh. Who says it's true, I'm inclined to believe it. Which leaves us with the matter of entrusting the crystals to her. She's right that this was Brandon's home. The others too. And it's home to their most important memories. Not all of them good, maybe, but everyone they loved is laid to rest here. I agree. Albert belongs here. Albert's crystals was Seto in this world. Lami would want to be near. Renda Ray as well, I think. She'd want to be with her friends in the place that she loved. Seems we all agree. Toast then to the Warriors of Light. Oh boy. Drink up. I'm paying, and as bounty hunters, I expect you all to take proper advantage of that. I hate to disappoint, but I'm not much for alcohol. This juice looks nice, though. That's not... Uh-oh. He just fucking fell flat. Oh. Okay. How did you manage this? Twice the mess and half the time as normal patrons, I would swear. I overheard your conversation, by the way. Do you agree with your friends? These crystals are yours, story keeper. Their legacies are safe with me, you have my word. Thank you. I can feel them. Their memories. Why? Why, damn it? You're all just like Ardbert. I betrayed you. I manipulated you. And still... you thought of me as a comrade. A friend. Until the very end. Oh man, hopefully Grandson will be alright. We finally managed to clean up after you a lot, for the most part. Perhaps next time we should set down our tarpaulin. Nevertheless, I'm grateful to you for entrusting these to me. For as long as I live, I will never stop sharing the true tale of the Warriors of Light, of my friends. God damn, there's more. A hero's journey. Seeing the lot of you together like that reminds me of the old days. Ardbert and the rest, drinking and bickering and laughing. Drove each other half mad at times, but there was never any question of who there'd be when times got tough. Can't help but wonder, can I? If I'd had companions like that back home, could it have been saved? I'm not the only one who tried, though. Each of us stood alone. There was Unu. We met. He was working with Elidibus at the time. The high unpronounceable name seems familiar. Yes, he too was one of the most would-be savior of the 13th and was spared his fated demise by Ascian devices. We spoke once of the destruction of our world. If the others could be saved, we thought we had parts to play. What's he up to now that Elidibus is gone, though? I have no idea. Has he found himself a new role as I have? Or does he feel as adrift as we were back then? If you encounter him in the source, I ask you help him find a way forward, just as you have helped us all here. Well, I can pay him a visit, find out. God damn, it's been ages since I last talked to that guy. Oh, I haven't talked to him since the Warring Triad stuff, back at Heaven's Ward. Hello, Uno. Well, Matt Cecil, what brings you here today? Ariana did apprise me of your travels in the first, and of what became of Elidibus at long last. But I was not aware that you were working with Silva. I consider her a comrade of sorts, though our time together was short. Looking upon the twisted remains of the world you tried to save creates a bond that few can understand. At the time, we spoke of what we could hope to achieve with our newfound immortality, and of our regrets. though I then believed what had happened to the natural result of my age and inexperience. I now think that this was merely the least painful explanation I could offer myself. Silva is right. We ought to have sought each other out before it was too late. I will not make the same mistake again. With the war in Troy had gone, I am indeed in need of a new purpose, and to seek it alone is folly. I should like to speak with Silva, assuming such a thing is possible. As I mentioned, she understands how I feel more than any other. Of course, all I require is your soul! You speak of a spirit vessel, correct? That means by which the scions return to the source. If I understand the principles at work correctly, then it was a near miracle that you succeeded in bringing them back without killing them. If Elizabeth is to be believed, however, my current state makes me something of an exception in matters of life and death. In which case, there's not to be lost from making the attempt. Please say you'll help. We need an expert in spirit vessels. I have no idea what I'm doing. Hello, Urianger. Pray forgive the delay, that thou didst seek my counsel. Aye, the gifts granted young Unu by Heidelin the Ascians may prove a boon in easing the transition. However, I know not what extent, nor what befall by thy spirit should be lost betwixt worlds. Nevertheless, I know that this is my path forward. Please, Urianger. Very well. If thou believest that thou shalt find new purpose in the first, I will do all my power to see thee safely there. We shall be but mere moments. Mayhap a worthy tongue might keep thee occupied while I perform the necessary magics. Okay. A decent spot. Find a decent spot. Great. Am I glowing? Looks like I'm glowing. 'Tis done. Pray guard his vessel well. Unu is as I and the scions were in the first. A soul with form, yet not no true body. Thus 'twas a simple matter to transfer him to the vessel using the self-same process as before. To withdraw his essence once across the rift ought to prove similarly straightforward. However, I fear that such an existence cannot sustain itself indefinitely. We look to the Ascians' example. Their persistent use of flesh and blood vessels surely hath caused. Be it danger akin to that which would have befallen us had we not returned to the source, I know not. But the time may come when the body requireth a full corporeal form. Should this come to pass, I trust thou shalt come to his aid. For the moment, however, thou needest only convey the spirit vessel to Beck Lug. Farewell, both of thee. Looks like I'm glowing. Or is it just me? But I can swear I see like a faint ring of light around me. Alright. Where you at, Becklug? Back again, are you? I'm glad that you've grown so fond of Norvron. Or I would be, but you have that expression you always wear when you're about to ask me for something. You did what? After all the perils your friends faced and the labors we undertook to return to your world, you brought another soul across the rift? Have you no common sense? Nope. We never learn. Clearly. Nevertheless, for my own peace of mind, I assume you have a compelling reason for this. Removing spirit from vessel will be easy enough, though. I suppose. However, it requires a few moments without your breathing down my neck. Also, your friend is unlikely to materialize with clothes on, so I doubt they'll want an audience. You should wait here. Perhaps take the opportunity for some self-reflection. Huh. Oh, very well. At least I tried. We'll find you at the Wandering Stairs directly then. You want to speak with someone? Very well. You've done the same at my request often enough. Once he gets here. How long were we meant to wait for this friend of yours? I do have work to do, you know. Ah, there you are. Pardon the delay. It took some time to acquire robes of an appropriate size. Is this them? Look at this man. Silva. Unu? It indeed is I. Trust me, I can hardly believe that I'm here myself. I should think so. When I sent Silva to ask after you, it never occurred to me that you might be able to cross the river without asking aid. Lost your taste for subterfuge, I see. My choices and my reasons are my own now. If I am to have faith in them and myself, I cannot hide who I am. Speaking of which, Unu was kind enough to fill me in, and unlike some, and I was interested to hear of an erstwhile hero of the 13th serving limitations at the Wandering Stairs. And but that this hero should be you surpasses the scope of even my considerable imaginings. Was that you at Grunus Lect so long ago? Not so long to me, or you mayhap, though I had thought I might be at last put those days behind me. But perhaps this is for the best. They're not all bad memories. They never are. I should very much like to hear your story, should you be willing to share it. Our world, like this one, had its share of would-be heroes, myself and Unu among them. Unlike your Warriors of Light, however, each was unaware of, or unconcerned with, our fellows. But to fight alone is to fall alone, and the insidious ether the Aurosite used to seal primals corrupted once noble souls, and turned them, one by one, to darkness. Even those who resisted this fate could not escape its consequences. No surprise, perhaps, as we continued to struggle in solitude. We were spared by Ascian machinations, but only as our world met its death. But what if that death can be undone? I was told that much, but at first I was consumed by light, as our home was by darkness, yet balance and life was being restored to even that scoured land they called the Empty. If such a thing is possible, then why not the reverse? Can we not bring light back to the 13th? Even the Ascians considered the 13th lost, thus it was excluded from the rejoining. Well, what say you? You have a way of making miracles happen. I mean, we've been to the world of darkness. But I guess anything's possible, right? That doesn't sound like an empty platitude coming from you. It was the same with Ardbert. Pardon the interruption, but might I suggest a closer examination of the condition of the 13th before we form any conclusions? We could use a temple. Couldn't we please? How do we go about that safely? We could use a crystal tower to open the void gate, couldn't we? Have you lost your mind, your head? The crystal tower is not a toy, and you are not to use it to unleash a great and terrible void sent upon this world. Damn it. According to the records, there was a group who worked out how to open small void gates through which to summon minor fell beasts and the like. Magics of that nature which should work, though I'm unsure if any with knowledge of the original technique yet live. There's one right over there. How fortunate! Let's inquire with this Tainor immediately. Yes, you do that. In the meantime, I'll ready a means of peering into the depths of the void without endangering ourselves. Use these to contact me when you're prepared to open the gate. Oh Lord. We shall, at the very first opportunity, I promise. What's going on here? It's always a pleasure, Cecila. Hi, but who's your friend? I don't believe you met. We have not, for as I'm not from this world. The situation is rather complicated, but I hope that you might be willing to assist me. It's true that we had the means to open such portals. We called them hollows, and it was through one of these that I was drawn into the rift. So it is possible. Not with my power alone. I understand the greatness of your need, and were Nalbert still by my side, I should be glad to make the attempt, but the technique required the combined force of our energy and resonance. If one person's magic are insufficient, perhaps I could assist. From what I can sense, our ethereal reserves are roughly equivalent, and our physical similarities suggest that our energies are not incompatible. I fear you underestimate the difficulty of the task. Albert and I were born for this, and even so, it took us years before our efforts were perfectly in step. I realize there's a lot to ask considering we've just met, but could we not at least attempt it? Yours is the only such magic I've ever heard of, and we might be able to actually save my home. May I interject? You will recall that crystals in my possession preserve the members of the form Warriors of Light, including Nilberts in ethereal form. And Unu here is particularly talented for interpreting the minds and motives of ethereal beings, the primals. If I could apply the same principles to interpret Nilbert's crystal, an experiment worth trying at the least. I'll fetch it. Speak to me now, Bert. Do his members of training retain or remain? They do, and such a strong sentiment with them. Tainor, you should know that Naur desired nothing as so much as to rescue you, his dearest friend. He held so fiercely to his memories of the technique you mastered together because he hoped that they might be your salvation. Oh, Nalbert, I won't let them go to waste. I'll do what I can to see how the 13th restored. Thank you. I won't pretend I understand the half of what's going on here. Just keep them from running headlong into anything too dangerous, will you? Nothing to worry about as long as you're around, I'm sure. Wicked white, I nearly forgot. I have half a dozen orders to fill. You know where to find me if you've made progress with the gate. My god, I didn't realize this was gonna be a whole thing. If you have no objections, Tanar, I would like to practice creating hollows as soon as possible. Of course, but not within the Crystarium. If you succeed in opening even the smallest window into that realm, it's likely that fellow creatures will emerge from... Follow me. Oh god. What did I get myself into? Assuming no one ventures near this location should be suitable. Uno, when I give the word, begin channeling your ether. Now Albert's memories will have told you as much, but it is imperative that you maintain focus on your ethereal resonance throughout this process. With that in mind, Cecila, I ask that you take care of any creatures that will emerge from the hollow. They should not be of strength to challenge you, and it will allow us to adjust our attunement without risk. God. Then let us begin. Come on. Flow where I tell you to. Let me attempt to match your focus. It opened. It's small, but enough to let something through. Be ready, Cecila. Good. Wonderful. Again, what did I get myself into? You alright? You look very tired. That was far too much effort for such a small gate. On the contrary, given this was your first attempt, it's incredible that we succeeded at all. Now, try synchronizing your breath with mine. Focus on the rhythm of the ethereal flow. Alright, I'm ready. Aha! Larger hollow! Of course, the voids it may be proportionally stronger. My god! Oh. Alright, what monstrosity are you gonna call upon now? Where your breath ends, mine begins. Where your ether flows, mine follows. God, it's the World of Darkness name. Together! Unbelievable! Full attunement so soon! Be ready, Cecil. God, what now? Oh, good. Look at that thing. I've seen that thing before. Alright, you've done so many monstrosities. I think I've grasped the principle now. I only need to remember the feeling of it for next time. Someone says if I do remember it, if ether is familiar somehow, but that's impossible, of course. Looks like this might be the last one. Now that Tanner and I are capable of performing the necessary magics, I should like to make an attempt to investigate the conditions of the 13th. Might I trouble you to contact Becklug? Sensei, are you there? I hope you've not lost focus on the void problem. I have an exciting breakthrough to share. A work of Porksy-related genius, if I may do say so myself. Becklug! Excellent timing. We made considerable progress as well, and I'm ready to open the portal when you are. Well then, let's say you meet me at Laxton Law forthwith. It's far enough from any major aetherites as to avoid this sort of ethereal interference that would be a hindrance to our observation of the void. Very well. We'll see you at this Laxton Loft anon, or as soon as I can locate it. I'll lead the way. I too am eager to be one step nearer to our goal. If you don't you don't mind if I think of it as our goal, do you? I would be honored. Thank you, Tanner. For those who are getting along very well. That is not my sprint. That is not my mountain button. That's my twirly staff for an instant cast button. It appears that Becklug is yet to arrive. Patience, Uno. I hope you won't wait too long. What, you didn't think I'd want to see this for myself? The 13th was my home too, if you recall. Quite, though as I explained, we won't be the ones doing the seeing, strictly speaking. This familiar will gather all the information we need, assuming you two can create a hollow for it to pass through. That will do nicely. Now fly, my Porksy, fly! Well, it's made it in. And something is coming out. Ugh. What's that? Ugh. My, that is an ugly one, isn't it? fuck is this thing? Thank you for clearing that up. The pork's gotta be back any moment now, though I can't sense it. Odd. Perhaps it's lost? If Celsa created an etheric beacon as she did for me, it might find its way back more easily. That may work. Give it a go. Keep at it. Aha! A distinctly pork-like presence. I see the snout. Huh. There we are. Now close that red hollow before anything follows. I believe it has performed its task thoroughly as instructed. Good, Porksy. With luck, its observations may indeed lead us to a means of deriving the darkness from the 13th. However, I'll need to review its findings in detail before I can tell you more, and it could take years to deduce a suitable solution. I admit that I am impatient to find a way forward, but I have endured millennia of half as much hope as I have now. If I must wait, then that is what I shall do. Like Cecil and your warriors of light, I will preserve until my world is safe. What's more, that is what a hero does. I think you'd make a good one. You as well. If that's the end of the excitement for the time being, we should head back to the Wandering Stairs. Clear out that pall of anxiety Sarah is spraying all over the place. Huh. All right. Ah, you returned hail and whole. Not that I had any doubt you would, of course. And how did your search for the hollow go? We have the information we need to save the 13th. We may have the information. Maybe some time, years maybe, until we can be certain, but I'll be here as long as it takes. On that subject, I've been thinking. Would you be interested in joining us? As a bounty hunter, I mean, Sarah and I hunt down seniors and other threats. The first was saved, but it remains far from safe. You can help us protect the people here. I I think I would quite like that, protecting people. If I can do that, then perhaps I'll find the strength I need when the time comes. Strength, you say? Sounds like you use a dwarf with a massive hammer. Oh boy. I may have shared the tale of the 13th with a few other noted hunters. Aye, I know what it feels like to fight for something you've already lost. To need to find a way to make it right. And I know what it's not as you fight on your own, inconvenient as that little truth may be. Thus the new team is born. This calls for a toast. Oh god, here we go again. Cranston's like, not again. I don't object, so long as this law carries their weight. I'm a bounty hunter. I'm a bounty hunter, not a Folka herder. Thank you so much, all of you. I'll be honored to fight at your side. I shall do my best to justify the faith you have shown in me, and to save my home. Someday I hope we can visit together. Who knows, maybe one of the future stories will go back and save the 13th. Who knows? A bounty of hunters! Alright! And that is the end of the... Oh, that's the official end of all the Roll Quest Hunter Menagerie. So, with that being said... Oh man... I forgot how long that was. I thought it was gonna be like a quick, like maybe like 1 or 2 quests. I didn't think that was gonna be a whole thing, but I said the same thing about the Vanu and the Moogle thing, didn't I? Oh well. But I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you all in the next video. Later.